The Screen Guild play tonight, Skylark. The starring players...
This is Ginger Rogers.
This is Preston Foster.
And this is Allyn Joslyn.
Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players in an adaptation of Paramount Pictures' delightful comedy of the advertising business, Skylark, by Samson Raphaelson. It stars Ginger Rogers as Lydia Kenyon, Preston Foster as her husband, Tony Kenyon, account executive of a big advertising agency, and Allyn Joslyn as Jim Blake. As our story begins, Tony and Lydia Kenyon are celebrating their 5th wedding anniversary. Most of the guests have arrived, and Lydia is on her way up to Tony's room to hurry him with his dressing. She stops a moment to talk to her butler.
Oh, Theodore.
Yes, madam?
Have you hidden all the Luckies, Chesterfields, and Camels?
Oh, yes, madam. When we have guests, I always remember that Red Cap Cigarettes is one of Mr. Kenyon's largest clients. $300,000 a year in advertising. And as the saying is, madam, that ain't hay.
I wouldn't be too sure. Did you ever smoke a Red Cap cigarette? And Theodore, did you put Abercrombie's soap in all the bathrooms?
Oh, yes, madam. The useful little cake in the lavender wrapper.
Now, what do you suppose we can do about Valentine's dog food? We can't just put it on the piano with a sign reading, "Help yourself," can we?
Oh, heaven forbid, madam.
Theodore, spread on a cracker, wouldn't it look a great deal like chopped liver?
Madam.
Oh, it was just a thought. Well, see what you can do. I've got to hurry, Mr. Kenyon. Tony?
Don't say another word. I feel a kiss coming on. Well, how does it feel to be married to a mug like me for 5 years?
Well, I think I'm going to like it.
Well, don't let me rush you, babe. Just take your time.
All right, but I've got to rush you. The horsemeat twins have arrived.
Are you referring to Mr. and Mrs. Valentine? Lydia, you mustn't forget that Fred Valentine is my biggest advertising account. And I'm going to land an even bigger account from him tonight if we can only handle Myrtle Valentine right. You know, Lydia, I think she wants us to give her our cook.
I know. She's hinted to me about it.
Hinted?
Yes, she said, "You know, Mrs. Kenyon, you have a wonderful cook." And then she burped. Finally, she just came right out and asked for her.
Well, what'd you do about it?
Oh, I parried Myrtle very neatly, I thought. I made it very clear to her that this is a free country, that the slaves were liberated by Abraham Lincoln in 1865. Oh, it seemed news to her.
Lydia, you're not very bright.
Well, what do you want me to do? Get down on my knees, wrap up my cook, and have her delivered to the Valentine's house with an apple in her mouth?
This is no time to be losing your temper. Don't you realize that, 1, Valentine's dog food is my biggest account. 2, it means an extra $1 million in advertising, which I may get tonight.
1, 3 years ago, when we wanted to spend our vacation on the island we bought, we had to go to Palm Beach because that's where Myrtle Valentine wanted to go. 2, whatever Myrtle wanted to do, we had to do it. 3, Myrtle is a jerk.
Oh. But we got this house by going to Palm Beach that time, didn't we? And $500,000 more in advertising.
Yes, we got the house all right. But somewhere along the line, I lost you. Now, for heaven's sake, Tony, finish tying your tie and let's get downstairs to our guests. And Myrtle, the turtle.
Hello, Fred. Myrtle, how are the Valentines tonight?
Oh, wonderful, Tony, wonderful, just wonderful. And you and Mrs. Kenyon?
Splendid, Fred, now that you and Myrtle are here.
You know, Tony, I was just telling Fred that the cooking here at your house is so much better than poor little me is able to provide. Oh, if I only had someone who could prepare food like this.
Looky, 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 there goes Cookie.
Oh, really, Tony? You've got a wonderful cook, Mrs. Kenyon, and she knows how I've been coveting, what's her name, Mrs. Kenyon?
Mattie.
Darling, why keep the secret any longer? We might as well tell him now.
Tell him what? As if I didn't know.
I love her when she tries to be cute. You see, we remembered how you enjoyed Mattie's cooking, and Lydia said to me, "Darling, why not ask Mrs. Valentine if she would like to have Mattie?"
Well, Well, I hardly know what to say.
I know what to say, but I don't think I better say it. Would you excuse me for a moment? I just want to step outside and put a little ball and chain on our chauffeur.
Hello.
Hello.
Did you walk out on the anniversary party?
Yes.
So did I. Dull, isn't it?
I ought to know. I'm the hostess.
Oh? I'm sorry, but I'm worse off than you are. I came with Myrtle Valentine.
Really?
Yes, you know, the Duchess of Dog Meat. Her husband made $20 million by finding out what to do with a horse after Bing Crosby's through with it. I amuse Myrtle occasionally. My name's Blake, Jim Blake.
Look, Mr. Blake, would you mind going away? I'm boiling mad, and I can't think the things I want to think in mixed company.
Oh, well, I can't leave a beautiful lady in distress. Here, why don't you slide into my car? We could go for a little ride, huh? Just for no particular reason, except that I've got a grudge against my A card.
You know, I think I'm going to like you.
You know, I doubt it. Any woman who's been married for 5 years doesn't really want to meet me. No, you just want to play at meeting me. You want to shoot the chutes and nibble on some popcorn and then run home shivering gratefully about what you almost did.
Are you trying to tell me that you're a wolf?
No, I wouldn't say that. Of course, there is a bounty for my pelt in Wyoming. Come on. A little ride in my car will cheer us both up.
I doubt it.
I think it will, because there's Myrtle Valentine looking for me. If we leave right now, she can see us going. You can give her a nasty little smile as we drive by. What do you say?
Mr. Wolf, I think you found a passenger.
Lydia, where in the devil have you been?
Oh, Tony, darling, forgive me. I've behaved atrociously.
That's right.
I was furious about the cook, and I went off with a man I hardly know, who means nothing to me, absolutely nothing, I tell you. He isn't even good looking. I can't explain why I went with him. But except that he's got ears like Frank Sinatra.
I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about losing Valentine's account. Myrtle saw you drive away with Blake, and he's her private property. I want you to get on that phone before that Valentine female gets to bed and apologize for your actions this evening. I want this mess straightened out before I lose that account.
Is that all you're losing?
Well, isn't that enough? Now get over there. I don't know what you're going to say. That's up to you. And this is the beginning and the end of all that highfalutin discontented wife business, too.
Mrs. Valentine, please.
Make it clear that the episode was innocent on your part.
I will.
And that you're never going to see that man again.
I'll make this apology good. Don't worry about your commissions, Tony. And after I leave, I hope you and your bank book will be very happy together.
Mr. Blake?
Hey, what do you mean barging in here like this? This is a law office.
Are you Jim Blake?
Well, if nothing's wrong,
Where's
I am.
my wife?
How should I know? Did you look under the bed?
I don't get funny. Where is she?
Who are you?
Kenyon. Tony Kenyon.
Oh, Kenyon. You're the husband of the wife I was out with last night. Yeah. Yeah, she was in here just a minute ago.
Oh, she was.
Yes, chum. She wanted a divorce.
A divorce? Because of you?
Well, that may come later, chum. After all, how long can she resist these baby blue eyes? But right now, the lady just seemed to be unhappy. She didn't like the cigarettes, the whiskey, the soap, or Valentine's dog food. Nope, she wanted to have a look at the horizon. She wanted a future before her as wide and carefree as the open road. Without a Burma shave sign in sight. You understand what I mean, chum?
I wish you wouldn't keep calling me chum.
Okay, pal. Shall we sit down and talk this over?
No, I'm going. But before I do, if there's anything else she said, I wish you'd be good enough to lay it on the table. And stick to the words. Never mind the music. Tell me, did she perhaps suggest that I quit my job?
Oh, you wouldn't do that, would you?
Well, you think I'm crazy?
Well, to tell you the truth, it might help, pal. Spit in your boss's eye. Take your woman by the hand, climb to the top of a hill, and say, "Look us over, Moon. She's a woman."